Alright, something a little different for you guys. This isn't a repair video or even an unboxing per se. I hate unboxing videos. But this is going to be a video about basically answering questions that get emailed to me about new old stock radios. And some myths, some questions I guess I'll clarify for you guys. So one of the first, I'd have to say the number one thing people email me about when it comes to new old stock radios is, does it need an alignment? Does it need to be recapped? Can I just use it right out of the box? I guess the answer is you can do whatever you want. You can use it right out of the box. Is it something I recommend? No, definitely not. Especially when something like this Royce, I think it's an I, I'm assuming it's an I, or a 1-648, I don't know. But this one here, this is from 1977. And, almost 50 years old, a few years off. This is a new old stock radio. I got this on Craigslist. I very rarely have good luck on Craigslist with stuff, but on an occasion, I'll go looking through it, and this is actually free. So some woman was cleaning out her garage, and she didn't want anything for it. Fortunately, it was a town over from where I live, and I went and I picked it up. I tried to offer her like $20. She wouldn't take it. So it was free, but this is new old stock. She said it hasn't been used. The only thing that's missing inside is the instructions. So I wouldn't normally go purposely looking for one of these radios, but because it is free, and I couldn't pass that up. So we're going to be using this as an example of a new old stock radio. So let's get her open, and I'll start answering some of these emails that I get on new old stock radios. So I already opened this to make sure that everything was inside of it, but this is exactly how it came. Like I said, the only thing that was missing was the instruction manual, but everything else is here. The mic, the bracket, everything. Like I said, it's not really a radio that I would purposely go out and buy, but at the end of the day, it is a cool radio. So, put this box to the side. We'll actually open it up and see what's going on inside of it. It's not a bad looking radio. It is a 40 channel. I like the white face meter there. That's pretty cool. But it's just your basic plain Jane radio. You have your volume, you have your squelch, PA, CB, and your 40 channel knob here, and that's it. You get nothing else with this, and you know what? This is perfectly fine. So yeah, manufactured March 1977, and this is serial number 163111. Made in Japan, obviously. So it is a 1. Okay, and so it's a 1-648. That's definitely a little bit more legible than what's on the box. But you can see Royce always kind of did their own thing. Even the power connector here. It's I don't think I've ever seen that in another radio, other than on this Royce. But anyway, so it's brand new mic. Like I said, everything. This is all new old stock. Holder, miscellaneous screws, bracket, screw, thumb screws, the bracket, and the power cord. Like I said, it's like a Molex, similar to the Molex type connector. Set that off to the side. So yeah, so another question, it kind of goes hand in hand with the first, is does it need to be aligned? Yes, it does need to be aligned. As these units age, the crystals age, is it going to be way off? Probably not. Chances are it's not going to be way off, but it still needs to be aligned, even though this radio has never been used. New old stock radios that haven't been used, they still need to be aligned. Same thing with the electrolytic capacitors. It's another thing I get. You know, is it's either one of those three. Like, can I use the radio? You know, does it need to be aligned? Does it need to be recapped? Can I just align it, or can I just cap it, or whatever? Again, you can do whatever you want, but rule of thumb, generally, if someone asks me, I'm going to say new old stock, even though it's never been used, it's going to need a full service. You know, because after a while, these electrolytic capacitors, they start to become resistors rather than, you know, energy storing, you know, components. And actually, you can make the point that with the being unpowered, you know, it's actually probably worse for the electrolytic capacitors. You know, you'd probably be better off, if you didn't want to do anything, you'd probably be better off buying a radio that's already had a full service done, that's in mint shape, than buying a new old stock radio and just throwing it right into service. So with that being said, yeah, I hope that cleared up some of the questions. I'd have to say that those are the top three things that people email me. It's like, hey, I got a new old stock radio. Do I need to do the capacitors? Do I need to do an alignment? You know, can I use the radio as is? You know, so those, hopefully those questions are answered with this video. So while yes, you can do whatever you want, but it is recommended to, even this radio here, I mean, it looks brand new. The only thing it has is this, but this is, oh, see, it came right off. That's probably from the styrofoam. But this thing is brand new. It doesn't look like anything has even been screwed to the antenna. Even this, if I end up keeping it, you know, I'll probably just throw it right back in the box until the time comes to restore it. But if I'm going to sell this, which I might, I'll end up recapping this and you know, doing a full transceiver alignment on it, and you know, before I sell it. But anyway, let's get it opened up before we actually put it on anything. Make sure everything is okay with it, and yeah, just take a look inside. I've never seen inside one of these, so yeah, let's get this thing opened up. All right, so like I said, Royce, Pace, they kind of did their own thing as far as radios go, and this is a pretty damn good example of you know, them going and doing their own thing with these radios. So right off the bat, you can see this RF shielded area of CB. It looks like everything's contained in there. The PLL circuit, everything. It looks like it's contained behind this, inside this box here. This RF shielding box. Look at the final here. It's a Sony old style transistor, which is strange to see, but it's a what is that, 756A, with a nice heat sink, aluminum heat sink. So it's definitely not in the norm as far as CB radios go. Tiny speaker, but I'm sure it sounds fine. But yeah, all original caps. So I do see that's a Nichicon cap. NRC. That is. Let me see if I can. There's a few different three different manufacturers here. So you got Nichicon, NRC, Unicon caps. But you can see all the adjustments are made through the side of the radio. So all the adjustment cans are done through the side here. Looks like inside there is a trimmer cap. Some of these look like cans, some of them probably transformers, tunable transformers, but yeah, it's definitely a unique radio. Again, it's a Royce, so that's what they're known for. But I bet this has really good stability, frequency stability, and I bet on a spectrum analyzer this thing is super clean. We'll see. We'll do a little test with it. But looks like an audio IC, and yeah, not too much flux. Sometimes you see these things are just coated, basically painted with flux. This one's not bad. But yeah, so that's a Royce radio. Typical Royce. Strange. Like I said, I've never opened one of these up, so I've never seen what this chassis is. I couldn't even tell you what this chassis is. It's probably specific to them. I don't see any Uniden markings on anything. Yeah, I couldn't even tell you what this has for a PLL. So I'd hate to service anything inside of that can there, that RF shield. Looks like all this has got to be unsoldered. Yeah, and then it must pull out, and then you must service this as a separate module. I'm sure probably back in the day, if you ever needed a part from Royce, I guarantee you this was all one part number, and you swap this out as a whole unit. Because I don't see. Oh, you might be able to pull this, take this up. This whole can might slide up, but I'm not sure. But it looks like you might be able to just pop this up, pop that up. I'm not going to attempt it, but yeah, maybe. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if this was all one unit that you swapped out. You know, if you ever had a fault with it. But anyway, guys, let's see how she's doing for transmit, and we'll do a sensitivity test, and then we will do we'll see how it looks on the spectrum analyzer. All right, let me get this hooked up to the MFJ meter here and see what we're doing. All right, got it hooked up to the MFJ meter, and let's key her up and see. That's off. It's all the way pinned over to the red. See, another reason why these things need to still be aligned. I mean, it's not a big deal, but you know, it's off. See what she's doing for dead key. Yeah, 4 watts, normal. Audio. Yeah, put a tone through this mic. Yeah, not a super swinging radio, but you know, it's probably what's expected of something this vintage, you know, basic plain Jane radio. So yeah, let's see. Let's put her on the. What should we do next? Yeah, let's do a sensitivity test. See how good her receive is. Stand by. Alright, it's hooked up to the signal generator and to the SIN adder, so let's see what she's doing for sensitivity. Again, as usual, guys, sorry for the annoying tone, but that's how I do it. Alright. So we have minus 110, 11, 12, 13 and a half, almost 14. So minus 114 dBm, 12 dB synad. That's pretty good. Pretty good for radio that hasn't been used in almost 50 years. Yeah, so I guess that's oh yeah, the spectrum analyzer. I always forget that. Alright, let me get this thing hooked up on the spectrum analyzer and see how she's doing for cleanliness. Alright, it's hooked up to the spectrum analyzer. Let's see how it looks. Look at that, huh? Nice and it's a nice clean radio. Yeah, that's there you have it. So, another thing I wanted to mention too, before I sign off here is I even hesitate to buy new old stock components, transistors, any of that stuff, especially transistors. I find that, being in storage for 30, 40, 50 years plus, it just, I think you run the risk of having them fail. In some instances, I guess you have no choice. You have to kind of use new old stock stuff. But for me, I've had radios come back and bite me in the ass because of using new old stock, components. Anyway, guys, that's just my 2 cents. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully, people will see this and have their question answered on new old stock radios and what to do with them. I don't say it often, but I'd appreciate it if you guys would subscribe to the channel, like the stuff if you actually like it. Comments are always welcomed, good or bad. It's always good to have a discussion and different points of view on things. I feel like this world kind of lacks in that manner. It seems like if you have a different opinion on something, you automatically have to be enemies. Doesn't have to be that way. But anyway, guys, yeah, like, subscribe, make sure you check off the notifications so you guys don't miss a video that I'm putting out. Thanks for watching.